You live and you learn, you guys. I had something happen last night that's never happened before. I felt really bad. It made me feel really bad because what I do at night is I gotta wait for this plane. So you're out here in the middle of nowhere, but there's still air traffic. And I don't know what it is, but it seems like wherever I'm at, the planes, they always fly like directly over me. And it doesn't make for good audio when you're trying to do a YouTube video. Dodger. It's even when I whistle and call him. Oh, he sees somebody over there. He sees a person. There's actually somebody walking out there. And Dodger sees them. He's like wondering, is that us? No, Ekko sees them. But I just put him on his lead just in case. He wouldn't take off, but he might get excited. And so, yeah, so, Dodger's going after that person because he's like, oh, that must be them. He just can't quite tell. So I have to come over here and get into his line of sight so I can give him the big wave. See how he's moving quickly? Poor Dodger. Dodger. You got to keep a good eye on your old dog, Dodger, Dodger, Dodger. Yeah, I have a story to tell, but it happened over here. I got to get Dodger first. Dodger's really got his eye on this person. It's unusual for anybody to be out here just walking around, and so he's really keyed in. He's like, oh, that's them. That's us. And I'm whistling and calling for Dodger, but he's focused on that person, thinking that's where he needs to go. He's such a cute dog. He's so good. Get in his line of sight, then he'll see us. Dodger. See, there's a fence here. That's why I can't get over there. They can go under the fence. The lower rung of the fence is not barbed. And this is going to come into play with our story. I got to get Dodger first. There we go. Now he sees us. He's like, hey, that's them. You can see our camp back there. So we're just doing our morning walk. Keep this guy close. So last night, I want to let this guy out, and I let Dodger out every night a couple times. But the thing is, what I've noticed lately at night is there will be, let's see if I say the word, there'll be deer. See, that gives you an idea of my concern. And elk. He doesn't know that word. To him, they're all deer. See, he's pretty good at night if they're around, but if they're real close into camp, then he would chase them. So I got into a pretty good habit now, and I take my flashlight, and you guys have seen the new flashlights that I got from one of the subscribers sent us, and they're super bright. They're really bright. They got this really good spotlight on them. So I shine them out kind of all around our camp, just from camp, and I'm looking for the glowing eyes of the animals. And I step outside before I let the dogs out, and I announce myself, I make some noise. So hopefully, all the animals will perk their heads up in my direction. And then when I shine the light out, then I'll get the glare of their eyes and I'll be like, oh yeah, there's a herd of deer over there, or a herd of elk or whatever. And I can wait till they kind of run off, or I'll just put him on his lead and then take him outside so he can do his thing and not have an opportunity to chase after anything. And that seems to work fine. Usually they just they hear me, they look up, and then they kind of just start trotting off a little bit. But what happened last night, I could hear them, and it sounded like elk. I mean, they sounded huge, right? You can hear their footsteps, and there's a lot of rocks out here, so you can hear them kind of clippity-clopping, even from a distance. They were really far away. Like, this spotlight is really bright, and so I shined it in their direction, and I could just faintly see their eyes glowing and their bodies through the trees. And it sounded like there was a whole herd of them, and they kind of just kept moving and moving and moving. So, I mean, I would say there were 30 of them. But what happened is they were running towards this fence. And, I really couldn't see them very well. But it's basically like a stampede, just from me shining the light. I was just trying to spot them and see where they were. And what I heard, and I think we're going to see up here some evidence of what happened, is it sounded to me like one or two of them ran into this fence. And, I don't know if they have good night vision or not. You would hope they do, so they know to jump over the fence. Here's a broken piece here that looks fairly fresh. Yeah. So maybe that has something to do with it. But what I heard was just a racket, just like, it sounded like one of the big ones had just slammed into the fence, and the whole fence was going all the way down the line. You could hear it was just this rattling noise. Now, there is a cattle grate up here, so perhaps that comes into play. But all night I was just kind of distraught, thinking that one of them, or a bunch of them, or maybe one of the babies, I didn't see any babies, but there probably were, had run into the fence. And I was just thinking about, injuries, or they got tangled up. I didn't hear anything like any animals in pain or anything like that. But it really bummed me out, just that idea. Maybe just like their hoof catches it when they're going over, and that creates a rattle or something. But it was quite a racket on the fence. Like, just the sound of getting slammed into the fence. So that's why I'm checking this fence line today. You can see here where it's a little bit kind of cattywampus right there. And you guys put it down in the comments, what you know about deer and antelope and elk, as far as like having night vision or running into fences. I've heard of them getting tangled up in fences before. Now here, this section, see how that's loose? You see, that's the sound, but I mean, it was just a racket, like a really, really loud sound. I'm never trying to spook, those kind of animals. If I see a bear or a mountain lion, the time might come where I, have to make myself big and make loud noises and scare it away. But when it comes to, animals that aren't predators, I just let them be. I try to be really quiet. You can kind of see here the fence is leaning, so maybe this is where they crossed. It couldn't have been much further than this. Here, see how that's leaning? And I was so sure, because it was so loud, that I was going to see like blood or a knocked over, at least a knocked over fence. But I really thought I was going to see blood, like a little trail of blood where they had scraped themselves, or maybe even an injured animal out here. It was so loud. There were so many of them that I'd have to see some sort of disturbance in the soil, fresh hoof marks, and where the ground is really dug up. And I can see here, this doesn't look fresh, but it looks like it's probably a normal path that they use. You can see how it's just kind of clear out here. And then over here, like there's a big kind of, you see a lot more red dirt and less grass. And it looks like a path. And so I'm thinking, well, that must be, they must know, they must come that way every time. Sort of a common path. And that makes sense because this is where I see this broken post here. And now that I'm paying more attention, you can see if I can get a good shot of this from the other side. You can see hair in here, up here, here. So it must have hit right here, broke this post, and then if you look down here on the ground, there's a lot of hair here, which is obviously very fresh. See how he starts looking around right away when he smells it. That's the kind of thing I like to figure out, is what happened. The mysteries. There's so many mysteries out here. And now it all makes sense to me. And see, there's more hair here. Those elk, I mean, they're huge. And they have super thick hides and tons of fur. As long as they don't like break a leg, then a barbed wire fence is not going to stop them. They're just huge beasts. Speaking of spooky, what is this? And there's the arm. I'm not superstitious, but I'm still not going to pick that thing up and look underneath it. I want to see what's underneath the head. It's so weird. What are we going to do today? Something I'm not really looking forward to. It's really not that big of a deal, but with this guy, it takes forever. I mean, I could spend an hour doing what we're going to do today. I'm going to try to do it in 20 minutes, something like that. And I also got to do it a little bit to this guy. I got my tools out. Let's take a look. See, Dodger, he already knows what's up. He's like, I'm going to see if I can go into the trailer. He used to hate this more than he does now, and I have some tools now that have really helped. You guys have seen this kind of brush before, and you know, it seems like really cool because you press this button and the hair comes out, right? And it does work. It actually does really work, but you see these little pins in here. The thing is that these things will poke you as you're brushing your dog. Ow, see, just like that. And you'll hit your hand and it hurts you. Dodger hates this brush, and that's why he hates it, because it'll poke him too. You can still use this, and I should probably just get rid of it because I have a better solution, which is this brush. For a long time now, this has been my favorite brush. My sister got me this one, This thing, it doesn't look like much, but it actually works really, really well. And the dogs don't mind it at all, because you can see these are pretty stiff and soft on the end steel bristles. This thing works really, really well. But I found something that's probably 10 times better. Let me show you how this one works on Dodger, and then we'll do a little comparison and see which one pulls off more hair. Because that's the thing, is living in there, it's a small confines. The dogs are always in my bed. There's hair, gets in everywhere in there. So the more you brush your dogs, the less hair you have to deal with in there, less vacuuming basically that I have to do. This guy has a double coat, so he sheds a lot. He's got a lot of loose hair. And as he gets older, you know, his hair doesn't look as great. He doesn't clean himself as well. So I do need to brush him more than I have been. Ekko has just a single coat, so it's not as big of an issue, but he'll still lose a lot of hair. Let me show you this brush, and then we'll compare it to the best dog brush yet. It's the best dog brush I've found. It really is. Ekko, come here. Yeah, I want to brush you. Come here, bud. Right here. Good boy. I get a lot of questions also about Ekko's collars. You'll see sometimes he'll even have 3 collars on. The reason he'll have 3 collars is, one is this just a piece of plastic that has Velcro on it. I'll have a link to it down below. It's in the trailer right now, but it's just a high vis and it's got reflectivity on it. But I have to take that off because it can fall off, and also like it gets scrunched up. So the next best thing is this collar, which is just a cheap plastic Amazon collar. And it's got a nice reflective strip. It's super reflective. And then also it's got a little bit of high vis with that bright orange on there. And it does have a tag on here. So it's got my phone number. So if he gets lost, which has happened before, then this collar here, see, the thing is, this isn't strong enough to hold him. He's too strong of a dog to have something, you know, this small. This wouldn't hold him with the leash. So that's why he's got this big bully collar. And I really like these collars. They do get faded, so they're kind of ugly, but super strong. It's got a nice big fat buckle on it. And this he cannot break. I'll have a link to this. You can go to Amazon. Check our links down below. Or I'll pin it in the comment for all this stuff that you're going to see today. And then I've also got his tags on here, his rabies tag, and his phone number on this tag too. And this collar works really well with his tracker. This is the best dog device yet. You guys have seen me talk about this plenty. Let's try this brush on him. And you can see he really likes it. And you can really brush pretty hard with this brush. You can see the hair is already kind of coming off. Good boy. You can see all that. And the best thing to do is do this hair brushing on a slightly windy day, because the wind will take it and blow it away. You'll see how that comes in handy when we do Dodger. Come on, Dodge. Come on. Well, he saw the brush. He's like, no. Come on. No, Dodger. Dodger, come. 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 You can see how I'm not grabbing him. I can grab him and pull him by his collar. Come on, Dodge. But I like to have most of his decisions with both of my dogs. Come on, Dodge. Come. Come. Good boy. Okay, wait right there. I like to let them do most of the deciding on their own. You know, it's just better for training that way. But you can see it's a hard decision for him. He's like, I don't want to get brushed. But the good thing is, with this brush, you can see all that hair coming off. He doesn't mind this brush. And you can see how the wind is blowing it away. Look at that. Now, you're going to be surprised, because that's a lot of hair, but that's nothing. With this other brush that I have, it really does an even better job. It's really amazing. Stay. He's already going under the trailer now to escape. This is the best brush ever. It looks like nothing. You can see it's pretty dirty because I've used it quite a bit. Ken Wagner sent us this. You can see I put his name on here, Ken Wagner Images. One of our subscribers sent us this. It was on my wish list because I've used it before and I was so impressed with how well it works, and it does not hurt the dogs at all. What it actually is, it's a hacksaw blade. Try and give you a good shot of that there. And it's just kind of shoved into a block of wood. And this pulls out all the loose hair. It pulls out so much hair. And it's basically impossible to hurt the dogs with this. You would think it could scrape them, but you know their fur is thick enough that the sharp points of this don't even touch their skin. So watch what happens here. One difference, by the way, is that this does not hold the hair. So as you brush, the hair will just kind of start flying around. That's why I like to do it like right now where it's windy. Okay, now I think I got Dodger where I want him. Dodger, come. Come on. Good boy. And I'm going to have to take off his brace to really get him really good, but we can leave it on for right now. You can see this hair, how it just comes off. Good boy. And I can take his collar off to do this. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in the same area that I just did with that first brush, so you can see what happens. The technique for this is a little different than the other brush, but look at how it just sheds all this extra hair that's in there. And you can go both ways with it. And I don't know if you can tell, but he's very calm about it. I am kind of supporting his body a little bit with my legs. You know, because he's old. He's got a bad leg. But look at that. Good boy. I mean, he actually kind of likes this. Which is saying a lot. Dodger's kind of a stubborn dog, especially as he gets older. But it's like a snow show. Look at that. And it just does not stop. And the thing that kind of sucks is, you know, I'm having to bend over. So it's kind of tiring for me. It's all about this brush. You can see how the hair does not stick to the brush at all. It just falls right off. It's getting all over Ekko. I mean, this is just his neck. Just one side of his neck. The one thing I would change about this brush is the grip on it. It's a fairly small block of wood. And, you know, I have like a medium-sized hand, I guess. And so to grip it, I wish it was a little bit chunkier of a block of wood. But other than that, I mean, it's the perfect brush. stay. You can see he's being pretty good. Like, he's staying when I tell him to. Because he's like, fine, I know you have to brush me, and this is the best brush you have. It's not an easy thing to record this and give you guys every single angle. So I'm going to do some brushing right now off camera, and we'll come back and see what he looks like. So get a good look at him now and see if you can see any improvement. He'll end up looking a lot better, and he feels so much better, so much softer. So that's after about 10 minutes just on his neck and a little bit of his chest. I mean, it's all over here. I have to take a break. It just keeps coming. I mean, he's got so much hair. It's crazy. You put up with it pretty good, Dodgy. You still got a ways to go, though. I mean, it's probably maybe half done just on his neck. Literally, I only did his neck and a little bit of his chest right here. But when you're pulling out this much hair, it's like, oh, that's all hair that's not going to be in my trailer. And plus, he likes it more. He feels better the more hair I can get off of him. Oh, it's so much hair. And this is the tool. This is the key. I love this thing. Ekko. You want some? Can you get up? Get up. Good. This brush works really well on Mr. Ekko, too. And he really likes it. Even though has much shorter hair than Dodger, and he only has like a single coat, the blade on this thing does not bother him at all. He absolutely loves it. See how he leans right into it? He loves it.